there's this concept of control and surrender and discipline and creativity. And they seem to be kind of similar principles that are working together, but also seem to be opposed to each other. And it's the paradox of these opposites and how they create fullness in our life that I feel is a beautiful experience to unfold and explore as the experience of wanting to control every aspect of life or to be the master of your life and at the same time allow for magic and synchronicity to happen. This is what I mean. If you are so in control of your life that there's never any opportunity for synchronicity or that sort of spontaneity to have magic into your life that's unexpected, it'll find you no matter what. So even if you're like trying to control everything, the magic will still find you. So don't worry too much. But at the same time, just allowing for it to happen and really being open to this flow of life that's coming to you, that's the process of surrender. And the surrender is sort of this scary thing that in any number of traditions, there's this concept of just looking fear in the face and then recognizing that it's not real or that there's no reason to actually be afraid of it. And this is sort of the basis of our any sort of stuckness is essentially just fear, and then fear of something, usually the unknown, and then that root is essentially just the fear of death or dying. And so as we get into this process, we understand that we're afraid of dying, but what we're really missing out on is the fact that living is we're almost like more afraid of living, but there's no reason to be afraid of living because living is what life is made of, and you would much rather, do the thing that was scary and be alive and enjoy the process. So I'm not, I'm saying like there's plenty of things, like Eleanor Roosevelt said, just do one thing that scares you every day. And I feel like that's a really good rule to live by. And it's not so much about just putting yourself in like this fear state, but it's more just about just finding a little bit of discomfort and moving through that, so that you expand yourself, expand your consciousness, your perception of who you are, what you're capable of, and that sort of thing on a daily basis is what leads to personal growth. So in this sense of the freedom versus the constriction or the contraction, maybe I don't want to say contraction, I should say structure. Freedom versus structure, or just that like free flow versus the tight control of a schedule or something. And the ability for us to say, okay, there are obviously different times when this makes sense, but just recognizing how beautiful it is to have structure, be methodical, how beautiful it is to be free flowing and be fully, self-expressive at the will of a whim, and an understanding that those two are very closely linked together despite their apparent differences. And being, from the yoga perspective, it's just first and second chakra. It's just basics of understanding like foundation and flow. And as we, move into these higher levels of mastery and heart openness and self-expression and wisdom and divine perception, we open ourselves up to these deeper levels of experience. And at the same time, it kind of has to start with that level one of working on our structure and flow. And so as we kind of develop our psychological, anatomical, emotional awareness, these start to make more sense in terms of how we're really meant to express our life energy in a way that brings us closer to our full expression of who we are, and we find ourselves working on the things that we're supposed to be working on in a way that is supporting us and in financially supporting us in our emotional life and our well-being, building that sense of adaptability and resilience and creativity and strength and endurance and perseverance, not just in our professional expressions or in our relationships or in our health and fitness or anything, but just having that sort of state be the grounded sense of present awareness that we are living from all the time throughout whatever our daily activities are. And so just understanding that surrender is a magical thing, and it also is scary, and the fear is natural, and also the looking fear in the face and recognizing that you are bigger than it. And this is like a really simple idea, but just if you do have a problem, don't look at the size of the problem, look at the size of yourself. If you can expand your perception of yourself, then you are able to see new solutions. And that's from Jim Rohn, who is Tony Robbins' teacher. So just every day, expand yourself, stretch yourself, find a new way of looking at life, doing something different, just a little bit. And if you do that every day, over a long period of time, then you'll see magic. And magic can happen overnight too, but it's usually preceded by lots and lots and lots and lots of little things. So I wish you the best. Thank you for watching. Namaste.